Hello, guys. I see it's time for another developer podcast. Like it's just another 15 minutes. Normally, that's normally how long these things are anymore. But today we are gonna be going over new progress. Cause yeah, boy howdy, have I gotten quite a bit done when it comes to releasing stuff. I mean, I've released a menu patch. Still, I still have the old version is that contains the that contains the ear kill audio. You know the stuff. You know the audio that I warned everyone about that it would kill their ears if they kept the volume at anywhere over 25%. Well, I kind of fixed that with this patch and released the menu teaser's new patch because yeah, because only because it was pretty easy to just do that because I just had to remove one single audio thing. So the Y tune as it's called, that's the track. That's the only track that's associated with the game because I fear that if I released anything else, all background audio would probably be copyrighted music. But even then, this change still makes the menu a little better. I mean, it kind of fixes the audio so that you can at the very least double it, so that I estimate that you can at least double the audio. Still, might want to be careful with those headphones and keep it at 25 if you're going to use headphones. Yeah, it's just better that way. But yeah, I've released the first patch for the menu teaser, and yeah, now you guys can go actually do something with it. Don't worry, this game will have all original music and all original sound and all original drawings. Everything I'm getting from scratch, and the only instrument that I really have is a guitar, and one that's kind of old, but still works for getting some audio out. Besides, the way that Click Team kind of messes with the audio and mashes with it when it's instruments of any kind, when it's guitar especially, I mean, it's perfectly fine with me speaking in the microphone at around 50%. But even if it's 25% in the guitar, it decides to the programming decides to mess with the audio, and it's kind of cool. It does make the audio a lot creepier, which is the entire intention of putting audio tracks into a FNAF fan game. I mean, I'm not complaining about this whole bug in Click Team. It's actually kind of cool when you want to make a horror game, is what I'm saying. And it works in your favor in that manner. But still, so right now the Y tune is not being used for any assets in the game because it's too loud. It's just way too loud. I mean, I might try to patch out the audio file itself and get it to around 25%. But for now, I'll just leave it out of the program entirely. Which, on a side note, I got the second cutscene finished. So that's a whole step further into development. So now I've just got to wait on Cross and get the first cutscene animated, which is going to be the hardest one to animate for sure. Because it's actual having to try to sync up audio with the proper timing and animate at the right time, and it's probably gonna feature a lot of testing, a lot of frames. So that's probably gonna take a few days, including a lot of break time, because I fear that that animating this cutscene will just drive me nuts. It'll drive me up the walls. It'll mess with my own sanity by a bunch. So yeah, I'm gonna try avoiding that by taking plenty of breaks while animating the first cutscene. I mean, getting through the script is no problem. I mean, hell, I just had to go through the phone call once, and that was it. I didn't have to do anything else with the first phone call. And figuring that I stuttered a couple of times because the phone call was just a little rushed, it's okay. It works well. It kind of sets the character that I was trying to get. So it's kind of good. So I finished the second cutscene. I just have the first one to animate. That's likely gonna take a few days, included in breaks. Then I have to work on continuation of the actual game, and hopefully maybe any month. Maybe I'm still hoping for an end of month release so that I can actually take a little while off, because yeah, but after gameplay, but what's worse is is s is apparently there's another cutscene I have, or maybe there's another kind of big cutscene that I gotta work on, but luckily that comes around the end of gameplay. I mean like right after the night will have ended. It'll be kind of like another TV cutscene in FNAF Sister Location. Just more or less. You guys will figure out the kind of differences that I made, because the TV cutscenes in Sister Location were only just a bit of inspiration towards this type of cutscene. Yeah, Sister Location was a big inspiration for this entire project. But hey, I actually did something that no one else really did. I gave an actual explanation right off the bat for why the location is underground. So that's a thing that you guys have to look forward to. Some actual answers, but just enough so that there's a reason for a sequel, because as soon as I'm done with this game, I might think about doing the sequel, but even then I've got a completely different FNAF project altogether to work on. But that comes after the updates, after I start rolling out updates, and plus there's gonna be one that I know is gonna take a lot of time. One specific update that's kind of like adding an entirely new game to the game. Heck, I might just release it separately if it gets too big, so that it doesn't crash my mine or really anyone's computers, because the plans of one update of that specific update is pretty enormous. So yeah. You just have to finish the first cutscene, finish the first night, finish the first actual mini game. Afterwards, animate a small cutscene, like a teeny tiny cutscene. Work on a pretty normal sized cutscene that's just nothing more than just general information about the game and more or less what's going on in this game. And then I'll finally be able to release a night one demo. God, this is. I mean, you guys better like what I'm doing, cause you guys better show an insane amount of support, because this is a lot of time that I'm just throwing out of my life to work on this, to try to keep as much ambition as possible. I mean, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. It's just that there are that there is that some of the cutscenes that I'll be animating, it's gonna just take a long time, just be a long, strenuous, and boring experience for me. Because here's how I animate cutscenes normally. I mean, I go to Google Drawings, I go into animate, I go and draw a basic frame, draw the first frame, then for animation I add slight changes. And what's gonna make it around 1,000 times harder? Trying to line up the audio with the animation. That right there I know is gonna take a lot out of me. And I thought that the elevator stop in animation was gonna took a lot out of me. But then again, guys, I should stop blabbering on, because this dev podcast has gone on long enough, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like if you want more of these dev podcasts, so that you guys are keeping up to date on stuff, and I'll let you guys know when any new files have been released. Uh, Subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to to keep up to date with these, as they'll be continually streamed live. And I really don't have a schedule for these things, because it's more or less just whenever I make some actual good progress, or whenever there is something that needs to be expressed or described. But then again, guys, I should shut up now, as I want to go take a walk and just relax for a bit. I think I'm gonna be done for developing for a couple hours maybe. Then I'm planning on inviting Crossover, or going to hang out with him to work on those cutscenes, as I need to go through the script with him to work on this first cutscene. Boy howdy, now I know how Scott must feel. He must feel absolutely tired after making a single game. And what's worse is that what probably would make it worse for him would be that he would have an actual deadline. But hey, I guess that normally by the time a single trailer comes out, I'm pretty sure that his games are around like over 50% done. But that's just my guess. Uh, but I will be releasing a trailer for the first demo. Definitely won't be a full release trailer, just probably a little something to introduce the demo and what's going to be happening in it. When I'm ready to release it, maybe maybe if I know that I'm just a day away from being able to release the demo, I'll release a trailer and show some actual gameplay so you guys can see what's going on. Right now, as it stands, there's no real scrolling in it yet. But bye guys.